So I'm Cathy Lee from Nevoweb, from France, and we've been coming to this DNN gathering since 2010, and we enjoy them very much because they're a chance to talk about good practices among the community. So what we've been wanting to do this year is share with you a tool that we use internally. I thought it was a good opportunity to share this tool, which we've put on the Coplex download platform, which is free to use. So I thought I'll explain to you how it works briefly. I'll take the opportunity of this presentation to tell you a little bit about Nevoweb, so that you know how we work, because we all work differently, and it's quite interesting to compare sometimes our differences. The French are always late, and the Spanish. So Nevoweb is a company that was created by Dave, my husband, Frank, my brother, who is normally here, but not this year because he's in love, sorry. And myself, in 2006. Today we're happy to say that we've employed somebody, our first employee. It's difficult, but we're growing, so that's good. And we've been working with DNN and now DNN since the beginning. So they discovered it a couple of years before we created the company, I think. And we decided to go on the adventure of DNN and DNN. It's been difficult, as Eleonore was saying this morning, because in France it's not a well-known solution. We've got competitors in front of us who are very good. We've always got an extra difficulty in explaining, first of all, what is DNN, because it's not known, DNN. So that's our first challenge, and then we need to sell it like the others do. And that's my job in the company, so I'm just a commercial. So Dave does the development. Dave is the developer, Frank is the web designer. I do the selling part and the client and project management. And Magali, who some of you met last year in Girona, deals with another type of product that we've developed, which is called NBVisibility, which is just a template website with not much bespoke graphics there, and she's in charge of selling that solution, which is just under 1,000 euros at the moment. So it's a cheap, quick and easy solution that we sell there. She's also in charge of training. So she trains our client with the CMS and SEO. At Nevoweb, what we do, and I remember surprising Sean a few years ago when I told him that we didn't give admin access to our clients. So we just limit their access on the website to the CMS, so they can edit the text and everything, all the modules present on the page, but they can't add a page, add a module, and do what they want with their website. We've decided to keep that to ourselves, because then we provide a yearly service that we can charge for. And also we haven't got the risk of having websites out there that look terrible. So we're in charge of that part. Some of our clients have admin access and we provide training for that, but it's for bigger websites like town halls or bigger companies. And that's a choice of ours to do it that way. Nevoweb is known in the community because we've developed NB Store, they've been the lead developer. And then we launched a suite that we called NBright. And by that, what we wanted to do was to develop a couple of tools to give away to the community, just like NB Store. So we've presented last year NBGen, which is a text module.
A templating module.
A templating module, yeah, to manage content in the website. And this year, NBright Espace, which I'm going to go on to showing you in a minute. So why did we create this module? It's because we've got the same problem as most of you, and then we've got internal problems that we wanted to work on. Our internal problems were chasing up money, so getting money in, following projects better, managing projects better, because we thought sometimes we were not very good, so projects were taking too long and they were not good a money maker. And prospects, so keeping tracks of who could be our clients tomorrow. Espace was created for an internal communication tool, so that we better communicated with each other within the team. And then it became an external communication tool because it enables us to send out stuff to our clients as often as we want, containing stuff we think is important to them. So we're keeping the communication going between us and the clients that way. So I would say the main purpose of the module is to improve communication. And I think it fits quite well with this weekend, because that's what we're trying to do with Connect. So what we're going to look at in this session is an overall presentation of the module. I've already started that. We looked at the main features of it. I'll show you a couple of features in more details. And if we've got time, then we'll go online and I'll show you a couple of manipulations that can be done and how I work with it every day, because this is my tool. This is the one I turn on every morning when I get to the office, and then I can tell Dave off and Frankie and all that. So, as I said, we wanted to improve internal communication by keeping track of our projects. This module is multilingual, of course. At Nevoweb, everything we do is always in English to start with, but because we work in France, then it becomes translated. So it's a module that is already multilingual and very easily translatable, if that's a word in English. John? Yeah?
Yes.
Good, thank you. So what we've got on there is ongoing projects, tasks that we need to complete within the team. So each of us have got tasks attached to a client or a project or a website. They're all logged on to the module. We also keep in there historical facts and important facts about our clients, you know, since when this client is ours. And is there anything that the team should know, anybody coming into the team should know about the client when they arrive? Because we find that we've had problems with communicating on that. And we've got in there, to improve communication internally, all our outstanding estimates, all the estimates that I send out every week. They're all logged on in there so that we could keep track of who's not getting back to us with estimates. External communication, the idea is there to be regular in the way we communicate with our clients. We found that some of them leave us after a couple of years because they've not heard of us. And we charge them every month for hosting and support, but because they don't need us and there's never a hosting problem, we don't communicate with them and they think that they're paying for nothing. So with this little tool, every month or twice a month if we want to, we send them something showing them we've not forgotten them. And that's enabled us to keep clients better. So we call that the after-sales service, really, in a way. It's enabled me as well to chase up bills, because I'm not very good at calling clients and saying you owe us money. I hate doing that. And I've had to go out to get the money sometimes. With this little message that we send them every month, there's the outstanding money that they owe us. So they see that once a month, and there's a direct link to pay us online. You'll see in a minute. And that's helped to get the money in. Project management, we've improved that because we've shared the progress on the projects that we are working on with our clients. We found out we didn't share enough. So at some points our clients, because the project was long, didn't know if we were waiting for them or they were waiting for us. They lost track. So it's improved the project management that way. It shortened the time we spent on projects, and you'll see why in a bit, because we keep track of time. And that's very important, I think, for all of us to shorten length of time we spend on projects. So we've been able to improve that. And it's helped us calculate the cost of the projects more precisely. How much has that project cost us, and have we made money, enough money to do it again? We've improved our finances, as I said, because we chase up outstanding estimates on a more regular basis. We chase up the bills, as I said, and also the system creates bills automatically for us. What we do at Nevoweb is that we charge yearly for hosting, so every 12 months we need to send a bill out. The system creates that bill for us, so every morning I can go and edit it, print it and send it off. So that's helped a little bit not to forget to charge the clients. So I'll show you the look of it. Hopefully, where are we there? Online.
Yeah. Is it connected to the
Yeah.
5.5?
Yeah. Okay, so this is the look of the dashboard, where I've decided what's important to me, so I've made it personal. What's important to me every morning is the active projects, the one we're dealing with at the moment, and any estimates that is 30 days or more old, older than 30 days. The admin tab here enables us to go on to tasks, projects, actions. I'll explain that to you in a minute. Domains, which are all the URLs we've got in the database that we're managing, that we are managing for our clients. Websites are all the websites that are currently online or possibly offline, or that are going to go live soon. And reports, which enables us to generate reports according to what we need to know at a given time. So we might decide one day that we're going to generate out of there a report that tells us, that gives us all the quotes we've sent in the last 6 months, for example. Okay, so any kind of reports can come out of this system. This is our client base, so in there we're going to have all our clients, past, present and future, so prospects. We're also going to have in there our partners, the people we work with, and we'll have in there also non-clients, so we'll keep that in a separate list, because then we can look at which people were our clients one day and that we've lost today. The finance tab is the one that enables us to link with our software that we've got at the office that my accountant is using. So this is the link between that software and our finances. So in there I'm able to create quotes and turn them into invoices when the project is finished. I've also got a list of payments, so this is when the money comes in. I can allocate the amount to a quote and then close an invoice and then close the invoice. Direct payments and direct transfers are these clients of ours who pay monthly by transfer or that we direct debit every month. So I've got track of that in there. And articles are the products that we sell. So we've given them a price, we've got a description in there which enables me to create quotes quickly. And this is the technical part that I won't go into today, but maybe Dave can explain a couple of things at the end if we've got time. So I've already gone on to that actually. So these are the drop-down menus that I've just gone through with you. And this is one of the features that I wanted to explain in more details to you. So as you can see, a client entry in our module here enables us to have all the contact details of that client. We can also decide that we're going to send a report to that client every month or not, because sometimes we might not want to, because that client is still not a firm client. We can pick the language of the client so that the report is sent out in the right language. We've got
support group.
This support group number there enables us to say that this client is quite demanding. This will be a number 5. This is a nice word for it. So we can then... yeah, number 5, you don't want to answer the phone when it's then calling. But you can keep track there of the amount of support you give that client and maybe adjust your yearly support fee if it's something you charge for. And it's also for internal use, this, because any new member to the team coming in tomorrow, and we've had that last year, so Magali arrived and suddenly I've got to go through everything with her, 5 years worth of client history and everything. So it was a good idea to have that so that she could, when she answered the phone, which is one of her jobs, she could have a quick look and decide, yeah, this client calls often then. So she deals with that her own way, but at least she knows the kind of support that the client requires on a general basis.
Is that just subjective, or do you have any...
It's very subjective. Yeah, it's very subjective actually. So we've discussed, what is a number 2 support, and we've decided it was not a lot. A number 1, it's very subjective. A number 1 is somebody who never calls, ever. So the day he calls, you're going to be really nice with the guy, aren't you? Within the client entry, you've got access to anything linked to that client, and I'll show you on the demo in a bit. So you could look at outstanding bills, so amount of money they owe us, estimates which are ongoing or not, so there's a color-coded way of showing which estimates have turned into invoices and which ones haven't, all the bills attached to that client, the websites they've got with us, the URLs. If they've got any email redirect link to their URLs, we have a look at them in there. Any projects going on at the moment, any tasks linked to that client at the moment that we've not possibly completed, and any history facts that we need to know about that client. So when you answer the phone, this is my job every day, you can open the client entry, and as you talk to the client, quickly go through these things if you need to know something very quickly. There's also a direct link to the creation of a task linked to that client, so that you don't have to jot it down on a pad. You can, as you are talking to the client, create your task and send it to the right person.
Is these information connected to a DNN user, or is it?
Yes. You mean that?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
This is actually the username we've given our client to log on to their website, so we've got quick notes of that in there. And we've done that for technical reasons, I can't remember it.
Yeah, I mean, the feature itself, the actual client, isn't a user in the .NET Nuclear. The actual client's a record in the database. So it's not when you create a task, you can assign it to a person. But the person you assign it to is a DNN user, and it'll be your employees. But the actual client is just a record in the database with all the information on it.
In there as well are information that will appear on their bill. So, you know, VAT number for inter-European sales and stuff like that.
Can I just add
yes,
to what I was
yeah.
saying? 'Cause although it is a record in there, there is the option to actually create him as a user, and they can log on and then see their own details.
That's
within.
it.
So there
That's
is
the
a
reason.
registration.
So this is the profile. Actually.
Yeah.
So this is the program they can.
This is the back office
Well,
view, but you'll see in a minute the front
we
office
tend not
view.
to
And
use that at the moment. We did
Yeah.
turn it on, we've turned it off at the
True.
moment.
but the client will view some details, and I'll show you how it looks to them. And in the past, only if we had authorized that user to view it. It's a bit different today, but that's the way it used to work anyway. So this is where you decide if your client is a client, a potential client, is it a partner, a prospect. I'm not sure about the difference between potential and prospect, but maybe there you've already done some work at it. Or non-client because he's left you, he was with you in the past but he's gone now. So we keep all that there. I'll also focus on internal task management to show you how it works. So when you create a task, you give it a name, graphic project, you give it a deadline date, a status, is it an urgent task or something that is normal or something that is not urgent. You are the manager, the person creating the task, me, Kathy, I create that task, and the owner is the person that is supposed to achieve, to complete that task, like Dave. Oh, it don't work like that. This is the description of the task to launch the creation of the graphic project. This website, see me for the brief. And it's signed nicely. This is quite polite, we don't write it like that normally. We attach it to a client or to a project, an ongoing project, or to a website. What we've done there, and I'll show you in a bit, we've tried to link a task to either the client, the project and the website that cannot be completed unless you've entered the time spent. And Rob, we talked about that when we showed you that tool a couple of years ago. You were working on keeping track of time, and we are too, because we don't know how much time we spend on clients. We do it, we don't charge them for it because it took us 5 minutes. But if you add it up at the end of the year, you spend quite a lot of time on it. So we've made that compulsory. So the owner here won't have the completed button appear unless he's logged some time attached to that task. And the minimum time you can log is 15 minutes, because we decided that any task, even if it's a 2-minute change of title of a module or adding a module onto a page, will take 15 minutes by the time you've listened to the client, done it, and replied, done. So that's quite an improvement, I think, for time tracking. So you can decide, once you've assigned it to the owner, you decide to send it to them by email. So you update the task and send the email, which falls into your inbox at work. So you don't have to log on to the Espace to view your task. Although we want everybody in the team to do that. Frankie took a couple of years to log on to Espace every morning. He's there now, but he was quite reluctant to start with. He just looked at his email in the morning and he could just see what he had to do specifically. So logging the time is really the idea here. Okay? By attaching a task to a project or a website, this will enable us later on to create a report per client, per website, how much time have I spent this year on this client. And then you can decide to review their support fee or to review the way you work with that client. In particular, I was talking to Eleonore yesterday, who's got another idea about this, because at Altamis you deliver tickets.
Yeah.
And you sell like 10 tickets.
10 tickets.
Do you want to quickly jump in?
Yeah.
This is quite a good idea, I think.
Okay. We have the same think about the problem with the clients that are calling us like 15 minutes to do something. So we charge the client for example, 5 tickets for 500 euros, and each time he calls, we
Use a ticket?
We use a ticket, but the client pays for the 5 tickets at the beginning. Okay, he pays the tickets, and after that we have a discount counter, and we say, well, you use the 1 ticket, 2 tickets, and after at the end we charge another
10 tickets
10 or
or
5 hours. If you have a small client, you can charge 3 tickets, and like that we can charge use 15 minutes that we have to all the time spend on the client, and that nobody is charging.
Exactly. So I think your solution links to this, and I'm going to do it, if you allow me, because we now got time tracked about what we do on our websites online. So we're now going to be able to keep better track of that and to sell these ticket books and to increase the amount of tickets you give to a client, because at the end of the year you can see that they've gone over anyway. So at the beginning of the next 12 months you're going to say, right, you've actually overspent quite quickly.
Because each ticket is less expensive if they buy more a lot of tickets.
That's it, it's decreasing. Decreasing. So that's a good idea to link that.
That's ideas.
Another idea. So that's about task management. And this is our project. It's not very clear. I don't know why it's very bright, but I hope you can see that for each project we've got a friendly name. Friendly name because Dave is in our team, and Dave can't pronounce the name of our clients. Friendly name is the way we talk about the clients in the office.
The red one?
You know what I mean? Some of our clients have got like difficult project names. You don't say that every day when you talk about the project, so we've created a friendly name, but it does work, trust me. The manager of that project is in this case Magali. There's a test URL linked to the project because we share the work that we've done on the website with our clients, so they've got a link to the test website. The live URL once we've bought it and we've decided it's going to be that one. For this project, has a deposit been paid or not? Keep track of that here. Is the project closed? Are we done with it? So 9 finished. Which client is attached to? Total hours. This is linked to something I'm going to show you in a second, where you keep track of the time you spend linked to that project. So there's like a bar here, you can't see it, but it moves. And is this us working on it? Is it the client we are waiting for? Is the project on hold for some reason? Is it completed, or is it an urgent one? And that will display in the front office. I'll show you in a bit. So project description, comments to client is what the client will see when he receives the report every month. So this is supposed to be nicely worded, like we are waiting for validation of the sitemap that we submitted on the 10th of May to start the graphic design. This is you type manually. We can do that because we haven't got 1,000 projects ongoing, but it's something you work out and you think, right, what do I want to display in that report that the client's going to receive? This is the internal node, so we're not as, it's quickly worded there, where we are waiting for the sitemap. When the project started, when it's going to end, that's with this project estimated date, and the actual end date. So at the end of the project, when it's closed, when it's completed here, we've got the actual duration of the project that's calculated there. This is the quote amount. This is the hourly rate. And this is the allocated hour, which enables us to work out the cost of the hour once we finish the project. And if we've gone over our cost, our estimated cost. You get that? It's difficult to explain, but... So what this is enabling us to do is keeping track of the time and the cost spent on a project while it's going and not when it's finished. because historically we've always analysed our projects at the end of them, and it's like shit, you know, we've I'm not supposed to say that bad words. Video. We've done it. When the project is finished, you think, oh God, we spent too much time on it. You know, we need to be careful next time. With this tool, we're able to see the number of hours spent here, and it appears in red if we've gone over. So we can create an extra quote and say to the client, right, there's something that's going wrong here. You've asked us an extra functionality that's taken us time to develop, so we can keep track of time as it's going and costs, which was needed for us. It's quite good as well when you are more than one person to manage projects in the office. It's our case, there's me and Magali. If tomorrow somebody calls the office, I'm not there because I'm here, Magali can pick up, open this and see exactly what it's about, where we're at, if we're waiting for them or they're waiting for us. She can give some replies to the client, quite detailed. So she knows exactly by looking at this where we're at. Okay, I'll show you quickly how it looks online. I shouldn't have clicked on that. I'm gonna wait again. Never mind. So, in there I've put two clients for you. Okay, we've got like Mr. Blue here. Oh, I can't see the entire screen. In that table here, we've decided that we wanted to see that, but you might decide that you want to see different things. That's what we want to see when we view our list of clients. This is the client for which I've enabled the report out every month in green. It's a bit long, I'm sorry. I wanted to prepare differently, but I didn't know we were not going to have...
That's it.
Yes.
Waiting for the screen. Dave, do you use the same template system as the investor solution for the views? Yeah.
The templating system that this uses is the same one that we use in every store. The idea is to try a central templating system we call NBright. This is a framework which does all the templating. So what we're trying to do is all our in-house modules and everything use the same code base, and that templating system is on code base as well.
So as I said, you know, we can see that we've got two tasks going for that client. Both are not completed and both are urgent. Okay, so I can quickly shift from the client to the task attached to that client, and
it's Dave again.
yeah. And as I was telling you, when the task is finally completed, you can decide that Dave here spent half an hour today completed the task. You know, if you want to add a little detailed note here about anything to do with that task, you can, but it is now completed. And
is it possible to have a task category? Admin work, design work.
Task category, right, yeah. We've got category of actions at the moment. I'll show you that in a minute. We haven't got categories of task, but because we've developed it for the actions that we do in a project, I guess it could be applied to the tasks.
Yeah, I suppose if you're logging the time in this system at the moment, you perhaps have to type it into the log. There's no actual field for that, but you could add it to the templating system and quite easily add a drop down on the templating system to give you a group.
Yeah. So this is the way, I think that's going to work, yeah. This is the way the report could look. This is the style of report you can send out by email. Well, I don't know what technology we use to send it out, the SMTP of the server.
Just the email.
Just a normal email, but that is sent out and that can be personalized, you know, with your logo and different graphics. This is what we've decided to share with the client every month, which is what we know about them in terms of contacts, because they sometimes forget to tell us that they've changed email address, for example. The projects that are currently going on, the fact that we are waiting for them because we've ticked that that button in the project, and the sentence that I showed you earlier that is being here attached to their projects. Which websites they've got with us, primary URL, when is the renewal date of the website, and the links to the statistics. So we've made that little report a bit interesting by giving them a direct link to their statistics, although today it's not very difficult to go on Google and check your analytics. But through that report they remember to click and go and check, because our clients forget to check that, and you know, we insist on the fact that it's quite important. So that will take them directly to analytics. The domain names they've got with us and when they're expiring and how much they're costing. And if they've got any emails redirect attached to the email, they're listed there, because as I said, they sometimes forget to tell you about these things. So this is our front office view of the client report. So these are the estimates that have been accepted in green or outstanding in red, and I can access the actual quote and accept it, so that we've got a project starting with our client.
That's sort of integrated with some other third-party system, like when you're talking about email redirects, for instance, is that connected to something?
No, it's just a report. It's, you know, URLs are bought in a external.
Yeah, it's just to keep track of what emails each client has on the system, rather than having to log into your DNS to find out.
It's not connected to this.
It's not connected now.
No.
If there's an
It's just
API
information.
For those to provide to do that, you could do it.
Which is the difference
I'm not bothered.
from action.
But it's completely independent of other third-party
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah. It's really just an information. The difference between actions, right? Yeah, actions. I wanted to import all the actions we've set up in our installation, but I couldn't, because I thought it was a good way of showing you the kind of actions we go through from the start to the end of a project in terms of exchanging practices with you. But actions are linked to the type of project it's about. If it's a website, we do some print, so we've sometimes got actions linked to print. And it's just listing for a given website and the type of website it is, the kind of actions we have to go through. It enables us not to forget anything. Like, it's a checklist. It's a checklist, yeah. But I think I've lost the web, so I can't show you, unfortunately, the action. But it is a checklist. So it enables the progress bar to go up. And also for you, if you pick up a project, to check what's not been done, that should have been done in the order it should be done. Yeah? But I've lost the web.
So
But you get it. Yes?
Are you generating a task list on the basis of the checklist for the project?
Yes,
Okay.
we could do. We haven't done it.
You don't do that?
No, we haven't done it. But it's a good idea. because as we've got always the same actions to go through, we could have some set tasks that we can just pick up. Definitely. Yeah, it's a good idea, that. We are always trying to improve this, and you know, I think all ideas are good to implement. Michael?
Is it possible for the client to create the task, for instance, over the website?
It's got no interaction
No.
at all, the client. It's just viewing something.
First of all, I have to say you made great tool, very useful in CRM. And the question, do you have permissions? So, for example, if I have an employer, right, and I want that employer want to have access to this client only, and that this client will not be available for this employer, or all information available for everyone, or do you have any permissions level for information exchange?
Do you mean the security?
Internal company, sure.
Right.
Yeah, the internal, once you log on, basically you've got access to it all. We're a very small company, so we don't break down the manager and all and everything. So if you're able to log on, you've got access to the module.
No, I mean per client, for example. So I don't want, for example, some set of clients will be available for young employers, for example, students.
Right, the report that they receive is sent to one email address. That's what we've set up in the background. If you've enabled that report, the client will receive to that email address that report. It's not a question.
What he means is, for example, imagine I have a list of 10 clients,
Yeah.
and I have 2 employees.
Yes.
One employee just to focus on 5 clients,
Right.
the other one on the other client.
Okay.
So set up the permissions per employee, per client.
No, that's
They also should.
No.
So, for instance, that if you have students that work for you over
Yes.
summer, that they don't have access to the clients, but
Or the finances, or yeah, okay, yeah. I guess
there's no granular level of security of that, because security is for an employee, you've got access.
so if you come in, you get all.
Yeah, you come in, you can see everything. The idea was it was shared between us and
Any small companies
Yeah.
where there's no secrets.
yeah, yeah. But we created it, especially when we had students or a new employee coming in, so that it became more professional. Because it's true that when you create your company as a family,
Well, that's
it
an
can be
opportunity
quite.
for the community to jump in
Yeah.
and improve.
So yeah, as we were saying, actions are about content, graphics, build, test, move live, or completion. So for each of these stages that we've defined, you might define different ones. We have a set of actions, you know, that we can set here. For example, anything. And we attach it to the type of project it is. So when I create a new project, I was going to go through all of that, but I don't think it's necessary. But when I create a project, and I want the actions to that specific project to come up, I can just decide that it's a website type of project here. And when I go create actions, of course my database didn't follow here, but when I go create actions, they will appear underneath all the sets of actions linked to a website project. We've got print here for our case, but it could be anything. Okay? Right. I think that's it. Yeah, next slide. Sorry, last slide. This is the demo link, which will be on the things you'll get after the weekend. This is about the documentation. So if you do use the module, you know, don't hesitate to contribute. Somebody started.
There's a guy in Holland that's done a little bit that uses the projects and the actions in there, and he's done a bit of documentation on the Go-Back site for it.
So that's the way you can help if you want to use the module.
one of the problems with it is there's very little documentation. If you download it from Codeplex, there's virtually nothing on there for documentation-wise. So unfortunately, it's a case of having to go in and understand it yourself and go through it. I think there's a small document that tells you basically this is how you install it and this is what you need to do to get it running. But after that, you're on your own, unfortunately. I haven't found the time to do all the documentation for it.
You have plans to put it on GitHub?
It's on Codeplex, so I've got no plans to put it on GitHub at the moment. I've tried GitHub and I didn't see any major benefit over leaving it on Codeplex, and I didn't want to keep switching between two source areas. So.
If you want contributions, you probably better off to GitHub. If you don't want contributions, okay.
you like GitHub then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Yeah. About the task, have you got any kind of synchronization for example, with the Outlook task or not?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
No. But we've talked about it, and it's true that it'd be quite good to be able to link. You were also thinking about that monitor on the PC that's linking the time you spend on a specific folder and all that to interlink, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, we've got a separate application that runs on the web on your
PC.
On your PC that basically monitors what window you're using, what folders you're accessing, and it gives you a time when you were doing it. So it creates a log for all your work that day. And one of my thoughts was to kind of integrate that so it can pass the log and then create, oh, you'll spend so many hours on this project and this project, and then you can upload it to this system to keep track of the time.
But I like your idea, Matthew, of for some tasks having the option to say, place that in my diary. Is that what you mean?
In fact, the idea is that, for example, if you can give a task for you, let's say that it has not always eyes onto the interface, but it always has got its proper Outlook open, you know.
He's got his emails though, and I'll make sure I send him an email.
Yeah, it's an email.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not a task.
The problem I've got with that is that I would have to then decide where he's going to place it on his Outlook. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the idea of the task as well is that you can log onto the system and close the task yourself. That's what your time against the task on the system. If you sent it directly to Outlook, then you would have to maintain two tasks or get Outlook to feed it back into the system. And, you know, the amount of time to do that for something you're not getting paid for.
And we are.
It seems crazy to do.
Do you have plans of building an Android app or Windows app?
Is what, sorry?
Do you have plans on building an Android or Windows app?
No.
One thing that I really like that thing, but one thing that I find missing here is an easy way for you to convert an email to a task. That's one of the most boring things I have, which is I got a client, an email from a client with a long list of things to be done, maybe with some attachments. So just converting this thing to a task in our project tracker is a pain. So just send this email to this thing and get converted this to a task with all the information right there.
There's your first push that you can do for us.
I will
keep doing it, I'll include
It's a good idea.
We have the company, we are using something like you know, the Outlook calendar. We have a view, it's a Windows project. We have a weekly view of that. It's like an Outlook calendar. And you just go there, select an amount of time based on 15 minutes slots. You just click there and allocate the time to a client.
Yeah.
So that thing would be very easy to integrate into that.
Yeah, I like the idea. Yeah.
It would be very
Because you find that when you receive the email of the client, you end up copying and pasting more or less what they want into your description here.
The problem is that I'm not doing that because it's boring. So I just throw the email from the client to the guy.
Yeah.
And then I keep track of that.
Well, I make a point now, because we've got this time allocation, compulsory, I make a point of copying and pasting into
But
that.
I mean that what I'm saying, what I'm doing is that I send the email from the client right to the developer.
I know.
So it doesn't even enter this,
I know.
this thing.
But
I know.
the idea is that for this was a central area where we could all look at and keep track of tasks. So the person who created the task could keep track, is it done yet? And
Yeah.
so when the client phones up for,
Yeah.
you know, but has this been done? It's there in the central
In
area.
the- in the
so
system.
The person answering the phone.
The one thing is that it never gets there.
Yeah.
So make it easy to get there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the way that you've got to work. You've got to kind of work with the central thing. If you want to keep all your tasks in your emails and not put them in there, this isn't going to work.
No, it's not going to work if you don't put
You've got to follow the working practices.
Yeah, we don't, I never forward an email from a client to my workers, never. Because, you know, I want to keep track of what's going on, have they done it, have they forgotten, because their inbox is like that. So I do copy and paste. But I'm missing the attached file, you know, the link to a folder. It's true that we could improve this. So please, if you've got ideas and want to use this.
Also, probably is that we all don't have a Kathy in our company. So if you pick up the phone, of course you don't put all this information, but they got Kathy and she's going to...
Yeah, it's something I needed to better work.
At times you are so busy, you have a bunch of emails like that. If you have to convert this bunch of emails into tasks, it will be the whole
No,
day.
true.
So I just throw emails and emails and emails.
Yeah.
And I expect
Understand.
that the workers will just fill the gaps.
Yeah.
But at some point it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You pray.
It's lacking a bit of organization, I think.
But besides, couldn't we receive the emails directly into that module, and that module would forward them to
I mean,
you? So you're sure it's
I have created a bunch of projects where you just throw an email to a place and there is a listener, there is a code that grabs the email and converts this email into something. And I even read the attachments from there and convert into tasks. So I've done that for a couple of projects.
But you definitely need to use this kind of logical interpretation of the email that is being received by the customer, because you do not want to have this automatically entered in the system, because you need to categorize it.
Yeah.
You need to
Reword
add
it.
information around
It's not that
the
difficult.
system.
What I do in some projects, it's just on the subject of the email, you just put a sign and the name of the category there, and there is a parser that converts this thing into something useful.
I'm just surprised you can forward an email from your client to your team member. You've got nice clients. Because my client can't express themselves.
Yeah. Right.
Mainly. Do you know what I mean? So I always need to work on an email. I can never, very rarely send it just like this. So that's
we
why.
We are all in the same place. I just wrote the email to them because
And you say you deal with them.
have to do.
Yeah.
But the chance, will it be easier when the client adds his task online?
They will never do that. Yeah, it will be absolutely, it will be easier, but they will never do that. They will never do that. Well, you have many of those lines, and I will send mine to you.
Okay, so we've just banged on an hour, I think.